for question. Of course, have a very large long-term industry. Who are the influencers? Sorry, for having me on.
Alright. Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Medyo cold dive na. Hindi pa ako nakahanap ng ticket. Napakamahal ang mga return tickets ngayon. Kaya hindi naman Zaldi or Harry. Pero hindi man naman tayo umabot sa nakikihumba dito. Pero medyo mahal ang cost of living. Kaya sana Zaldi level ang luxury natin. But before we talk about yung corruption issue scandals back in the Philippines, of course, because we're privileged to have with us again Attorney Conte. Attorney Conte, there you na here pa me. Um, kamusta ang pagbalik sa Pilipinas? Are you feeling triumphant or feeling happy? Dapat ba mainggit si Harry sa'yo? How are you feeling?
Well, actually, mas magulo dito. Siyempre. Pag-uwi ko, yung hulihan yung inaasikaso ng NUPL, my group. At parang as of ngayon nga, may bagong rally, di ba? Yung Peasant Day Rally. May hinuli na naman. Sabi namin, pwede bang makahinga-hinga naman ng konti? Although, when you look back, nung time ni Duterte, nangyari to eh. Parang ito yung naalala namin, eerily, uncannily yung time na parang sobrang daming nangyayari, sobrang daming kailangang isipin, kaya halos makakalimutan mo na lang. In fact, nung time na yun, EJK, tapos nagsabay yung Farmally, tapos nag-COVID, yung ganon. Kaya this could be a tactic. This could be a challenge. And kung na-survive natin si Duterte, masusurvive natin tong Marcos 2.0.
Exactly. Let's discuss this Marcos 2.0 with the shadow potential Duterte 2.0 also, di ba? I mean, that's what makes complicated yung situation ngayon. Like, it's not just meron pa rin, pwede rin bumalik ang mga Dutertes. But, if there's one Duterte na mukhang hindi na babalik, and I mean it in a very technical legal sense of the word. It looks like malabo na makauwi si Tatay Digong, no, Attorney Conti. Are we at the stage naka have we crossed the quantum of certainty whereby mukhang very unlikely na since the interim release decision was already released na mukhang malabo na makauwi si Duterte kasi the tone yata ng mga Duterte camp including Sara the other day was they're just hoping the guy will be sent back. I mean, whatever form. What is your read of the situation?
Well, I would say yes. Hindi na siya makakauwi ng Pilipinas as we expect or as his supporters expect. Uuwi ng Pilipinas, diretso ng Davao, pupunta dun sa bahay. One factor dyan ay kung naibenta na ba kasi yung bahay, wala akong balita. Pero also, the decision of the ICC was clear and this was what we were waiting for. Yung interim release kasi ay kumbaga will set the tone. Parang mararamdaman na ano kayang tingin nila ba? At malinaw doon sa desisyon na palagay nila malaking problema. Guluman o problema, malaking problema yung pagpapauwi kay Duterte at this point in time. And yung other side naman, sa totoo, ito yung mas hugot ng ICC. Inutusan naming ikulong yan. May issue ba? Meron ba kayong kumbaga may nagbago ba? Meron ba convince us? And they were not convinced and therefore the original sentiment that he has to be in detention stays. And I don't likely see it changing yung ganitong situation. If ever na ma-interim release, nasa ibang bansa yan. And I would say that's the best case scenario. Dahil ang worst case scenario is that. So he remains in detention. Question now, fit or unfit to stand trial? Either way, I don't see him being returned to the Philippines because unfitness to stand trial does not mean absuelto ka na. In fact, kung may mga nanonood na pelikula ba, may naalala ko na Primal Fear. Ito yung nanloko si Edward Norton na ano siya, kunyari baliw siya. So insanity plea. So pinalabas yung kanyang multiple personality disorder dun sa court. Nakita ng korte, nako, baliw to. So he was kumbaga sentenced or ordered to be sent to the hospital because that's what he needs. And similarly, if that's what Duterte needs, 24-hour care, hospice care, unless Bongo is qualified to provide health services, I don't think
Akala
hindi
ko
niya
pizza.
hindi ko na nga maintindihan. Pero nung may time na
Wala
yun
akong
yung
move
gusto
sa
niya.
pizza gate na yan.
Pizza SNR, okay? So, wala. Mukhang hindi siya makakauwi. Definitely not in the near future.
Just going back on the issue of the interim release decision of the court, did you find anything interesting, surprising about it? The tone, the cadence, well, the timing, though, although it came a little bit later than people thought. What is your read on that?
Oh, I have to point out that the decision is actually kumbaga, hindi naman post-dated, kumbaga, it was released so belatedly. Tagal na yon, kumbaga, hindi siya real time. Kaya, kumbaga, kahit paano, meron nang napagpapasyan yung ICC. Mas hindi pa yung decision. Sa totoo lang, the decision was so crisp. It was so straightforward. May page limit sa ICC. Wala na yung mga uh, prefatory and I, therefore, wherefore. Di ba? Minsan, medyo flowery ang words ng korte. Hindi na nga naiintindihan ng ordinaryong mamamayan. Parang yung nagigets ko, yung mga tao, nare-refresh na straightforward yung court. At sabi nila, may article, o ito yung nakalagay sa Rome Statute, ito nakalagay sa Rules and Regulation, 1, 2, 3, 4, o hindi pwede, 2, 3, 4, o ito. Kaya I think na nakukuha na natin yung tono na ang korte ay, kumbaga, no BS. Ito, sinabi mo, okay, fine. Ito naman ang aming pagpapasya. Ganon. Expect even more terser language in the appeals chamber. Na-appeal na daw ito. Kaya pag akyat sa appeals chamber, most likely, ganun din halos yung tono na, may article na ganito, hindi pwede yan, ganito, ganyan. Now, what would be peculiar for me, yung context. This was being decided kasabay halos na pinag-uusapan yung interim release at saka yung fitness to stand trial, yung experts, yung determination ng experts kasi medyo related. Sa interim release, nire-raise na yung medical situation. Sa mas physical, matanda na, ganitong sitwasyon. Yung psychological health niya, mas yun yung basis nung competency. Ito yung adjournment request na, that's correct, no? Yung adjournment request was not fully granted. Sabi, ang hiningi kasi ng adjournment request, indefinite postponement. Hindi ginrant ng court, pero hindi rin pinapanalo yung prosecution in a sense. Kasi sabi ng court, sige, granted ang postponement, but only for a limited period. Yung identification ng experts and so forth, I think mahahagip nun yung somewhat, no, yung issue ng kanyang physical health. Kasi may gerontology expert, so pangmatanda na doktor. Kaya nakabahan din kami at the same time dun sa ilalabas na report ng mga doctors sa 10 days. The deadline for the medical reports of Duterte or medical examination or the report of the experts is October 31st.
Attorney, baka nagalit yata sa akin ng Sky dahil binubuli daw natin si Tatay. Just give me a second, lipat ako sa it's raining already since sunny lang. Give me 5 minutes, 2 minutes, I'll just find someone.
Sure.
Yeah. You were saying, so just to clarify on that point, Attorney Conti, so what is the status of determination of the health? Is it going to be a panel? Kasi yun ang pinag-usapan natin last time. It has to be a panel of expert para walang questions about bias or margin of error kung isang doktor lang.
Yes. So, finally, na-decide na nila, ito ang panel of experts. Initially, parang lumalawak pa 3 or 5. Naging 3 na lang. Okay, fine. Tapos, klaro yon na kung sakali kasing in terms of botohan, di ba, alangan namang wag 4, wag 6, baka mamaya split decision. Ito, odd numbers. And although, of course, hindi ito simpleng botohan kasi iba-iba yung specialization ng bawat isa. Kaya ako, parang iniisip ko din ano kayong lalabas na decision. And para dun sa nagwo-worry, alam ko, maski ako napuntahan ako ng kamag-anak ko sabi sa akin, uy, kawawa naman yung matanda. Kasi matanda na rin tong kamag-anak ko, mag-80, yung isang tito ko mag-80 yata.
So parang around similar stage.
Oo, kaya parang, di ba ang Pilipino, parang, naawa ako kasi parang ako yan. Ina-assure ko sila na sa totoo nga lang, mas okay pa yung, yung sitwasyon niya ngayon. Kasi 24 hours yung medical care. kung sakasakaling kailangan niya ng any accommodations, na kunyari, kailangan niya bang maarawan ng ganitong oras, medicines niya, ay well provided for. Kaya to some extent, I would even say it looks like a care home. It would appear to be a care home, especially if you have a special condition. Kasi bibigyan ka ng um, appointment or kumbaga kung anong kailangan mo. In fact, napag-usapan na natin ito yung kay Kitty ba? Na may pumasok habang nag-uusap daw sila. Nung medyo nagkikwento pa sila, pumasok yung isang jail guard tapos sabi, Madam, ano bang favorite music
Oh,
ng
wow.
tatay mo? So that we can play it. Nakalimutan ko lang kung ano, no? Pero My Way ba? Parang gano'n. So mga Frank Sinatra. Basta naalala ko kasi noon, wow, generational din pala siya. And anyway, uh, ganun yung level ng attention nila. What do you think would your father want to listen to so that we could make adjustments? Hindi naman sa extent na papatawag sila ng live band. Pero meron talagang gagawin para makomportable ka kahit paano.
So may TV siya, may cellphone siya, and what are the amenities he has there?
Walang cellphone. He cannot cannot be in contact with the outside world regularly, but there is an intranet. So yung intranet,
Parang North
hindi
Korea.
parang gano'n, no? So limited ang kanyang ka-access pero may access siya sa library ng court. He can read all the records. That's for sure. As to communications, I think sorry, news also. In fact, pwede silang mag-order ng TV, ay sorry, pwede ba? TFC? Pwede bang mag-mention ng brands? TFC or kung anumang,
Around pa rin bang TFC? Hindi ko na alam na
oo
kasi.
nga eh. Kasi
Oh,
wala daw silang
interesting.
pambayad.
So you can have the parang pre-approved parang North Korea style. Parang,
Channels.
kaya pala updated siya. Kasi Sarah keeps on saying, oh, he's updated on. Sabi nito, bakit siya updated? So may TV siya, ganon. So that's what it means.
Yes. Oh. Pero ang huli kong balita nung pinag-uusapan namin yun, wala pala silang budget pang ano, pang cable, yung TFC. Pero kung yung subscription, so walang Netflix, mukhang gano'n. Unless daw, may approval of course, and then may parang magbabayad. Yung internet na binabanggit ko, yung communications access niya is to a pre-approved list of family members and lawyers, of course. And it's not just Kaufman that he could talk to, it's his legal team. So it's a case manager, assistant, and so forth. So, relatively, marami siyang makakausap at yung 200 free minutes for overseas calls niya every month, I would say yun yung ginamit niya nung nagkwento si Sarah na, o nga, tinawagan nga ako, nagkwento sa Love Life
Love
at
life, yun nga, like
nagtatanong.
love life, like you need a love time. Yeah.
Oo, hindi ko Love Life niya, no? Ni Duterte.
Yeah,
Parang ganun yung
love life niya,
context eh.
hindi Sarah, hindi Sarah, hindi Sarah.
Oo.
We don't want to talk mamaya na yung kay Sarah, baka kung saan mapuntang discussion natin.
So, overall, okay, but of course, hindi ka, kumbaga, para parang Airbnb. Well, hindi ka pwedeng mag-check out.
So, parang elderly care home ng mga alleged criminal. Basically, yun ang situation niya.
With him, kasi specifically matanda siya, mukhang gano'n na yung kalalabasan. Kasi yung average age daw noon, this was in 2022 or 2023, the average age of the prisoners was 59 years old. So,
Taas niya,
merong
oh.
matatanda pero meron ding mga bata. With him inside, maybe na pushback na. Pero definitely, they will adjust to the detainees. Yung mga recent detainees are relatively young. One of the oldest that they've arrested, parang mga 60s yata. Recent yun, Pero si Duterte could appear to be one of the oldest to be detained inside the detention facility, but not the oldest to be tried by an international tribunal.
Right. Ilang taon si Bato? Mamaya natin pag-usapan yan. But going back to this, so what about the appeal process? Because Kaufman has said they're gonna appeal the interim release. What are the grounds for appeal? What are the parameters there? And what is the prospect?
Well, essentially, if there is an error in law, or if there has been, kumbaga, an erroneous appreciation of facts. Pero kung unahin natin yung facts, sinabi ba ni Sara Rion? Oo, may video. Joke ba yon o hindi? Alam mo, it gets even worse if you look at the entire context. Because I think she was asking, ilan ba tayong bumoto? Diba? 16 million, ganon. So not referring to her numbers kasi that was 30 plus million. She was referring to the 2022 numbers. So yung 16 million na bumoto, uy, it's like a bomb joke being said inside the airport. Kumbaga, ganun yung appreciation nun. Kahit, well, hindi joke lang, kahit if you didn't mean it, well, somebody out there who could have heard at medyo gustong umaksyon, pwede, di ba? Kaya, if could only be an error of law, of fact rather, na hindi naman totoong sinabi, sinabi eh. So therefore, mas errors of law. And I don't think there is. Medyo airtight kinover ng ICC yung parang so many grounds. There are 3 risk factors. Tapos binanggit din yung humanitarian reasons. Sa humanitarian reasons, in fact, doon na-raise yung, actually may mga medical reports na forthcoming. Maybe we could also refer to that. So unless, yun na lang naisip ko, unless one of the experts says that, talagang hindi na pwede, I don't think he will be kumbaga, released from the detention facility. I think it would be the best and safest place for him now even.
Yun nga, the more na he shouldn't move around if he's really unwell and all of that. So clearly, hindi inhumane yung conditions. But the other thing also with the court is that talagang wala silang margin of error, no? Like, let's talk about the case of Karim Khan, who was disqualified. This was a big, big decision. Can you explain why and what does it say about the court in terms of yung standards of impartiality and basically professionalism nila dyan sa ICC? Kasi many people are still wrapping their head around it.
Oo, kasi parang si Karim Khan yung pinagfokusan natin. Siya yung nagsalita at parang siya lagi yung binabanggit when you say prosecutor. Karim Khan assisted a group of victims who filed communications before the ICC. I think it could be safely said, although this was not in some of the documents, that he assisted a group that was facilitated through the Commission on Human Rights. Parang may pagkaka-amin na kahit paano. But I don't think formally. I don't think that the Commission on Human Rights filed a complaint. They just maybe also assisted a group of victims kasi ang dami nagreklamo sa CHR. It could have been that they just
What time
forwarded
is
the
Duterte era
documents.
ba to?
2018.
Okay, kaya, yeah.
Yeah, Duterte era.
Nila Chito Gascon,
So,
time nila
Chito
Chito?
Gascon, yes.
Oh, God
It
bless.
could be, well, I don't, I don't want to speak ill of the dead,
It's a
pero
guesstimate. It's a guesstimate.
yes. Kasi lumabas yung CHR. According to the um, ICC documents, wala silang binabanggit. It's just a group of victims. But then eventually, parang nag-float na yung CHR nga daw. Ganun. But until the CHR says that, yes, we assisted them, at the minimum, these were victims who came forward to the CHR and said, hello, can you assist us? Si Karim Khan nag-review nung dokumento. And then, he also said there were a series of notifications or disclosures to the prosecution team. Uy, guys, by the way, may ganito ako. Later, he also said, ay, by the way, may namita kong witness. So, it's a little bit complicated. May namita kong witness, pero hindi naman ako yung naging abogado niya. So, eventually, someone else. And I didn't help him in a way a lawyer could have. Parang siguro nag-interview lang sila. Because of that, Karim Khan, in fact, said, I will not participate in the decision-making process for the warrant of arrest. It was Manjiayen Yang already taking care
Nag-recuse na
of.
pala siya. Meron na siyang
In a way, sabi niya, guys, ano lang ako dito sa gilid-gilid lang muna ako. What do you think? So he let the team decide. So it's not, it's not an individual issue. Like in the Department of Justice, not everything is decided by the secretary. Maybe he's the last say, but they would have teams. So the team is actually, even then, it was led by Manjiayen Yang. Siyempre, meron kang nakatutok. So siya yung tutok. Nung ginawa yung warrant of arrest, it was Niang who I think even signed it, and it was Niang who led the team. So yung kumbaga pa explanation ni Karim Khan, as early as that, medyo alam ko na baka ma-question yung partiality ko. The judges said,
So,
okay, we
nag-hedge na
don't
pala siya.
see.
Sorry, so nag-hedge pala siya in the past. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. Meron siyang notification. And then, so the ICC took note of that. Okay, the judges, sabi nila, okay, well and good. It does not appear that there is, walang kaming nakitang bias. Kumbaga, wala kaming nakitang, and even the defense cannot claim that can push for the whatever conclusion, di ba? Kumbaga, hindi siya bentang-benta. Uy, gawin nyo naman to. Siguraduhin nyo naman to. So, walang nakitang, sorry, ito pala kasi, walang bias, walang established. Pero there is a possibility or appearance of bias. Ganun pa lang, in-out na siya ng
Right.
judges.
So, wala,
So,
zero tolerance sila for any
zero
shadow.
tolerance. Parang the fact that you were a prosecutor and then before you help victims, and the actual term is, or the phrase that they're looking at is, were you able to, kumbaga, kasi sa warrant of arrest, to determine if this person is, if there is reasonable basis to believe that this person committed crimes and that this person is responsible. Nung nag-review kasi siya ng communication, and then parang sinasabi, you would have thought that these people, that there is a crime that was committed, and that Duterte, at the time, nung nag-review siya, you would have been in a position to say that Duterte was most responsible. Wala namang, actually, hindi nga pinakita yung communication because that's secret. So sabi nila, the fact that you were, or you had an opportunity, you were in a position to do so, out. Si Karim ka naman, okay, sige, thanks. Wala naman siyang, kumbaga, hard feelings at hindi niya pinagpipilitan. Kasi alam niya, sobrang taas ng standard. It's not actual bias. It's just the mere appearance of bias. Out ka na talaga. You could be recused or disqualified from the case.
Who filed for the disqualification of Karim Khan? Was it the defense team or was it an internal decision?
It was the defense. So may panalo naman.
Saan niya nakuha yung information na yan? I mean, was that quite open, yung ganyan information, and they just built on that?
I think, so the disclosures of Karim Khan was early on in the proceedings. Yung hindi pa pumapasok yung defense team. But then I think the defense was able to take note of the notification. So may formal notice na, uy, ganito yung nangyari nag-review ako. So nung ni-review siguro ng defense, nakita nila yon. Kaya tinitimpla ko nga to kasi bandang April, no? Parang binabanggit na merong notification ba or manifestation yung defense saying that at that time, it was positive. Sabi nila, we don't see anything wrong with Khan being involved in the case. But apparently, that was before. It's an observation. So, that was before they
So, magaling rin
decided.
pala si Kaufman. Parang nangyari dito is hindi mo matalo yung kabila. So, pinatanggal mo yung kanilang coach doon sa stadium. Parang ganun lang. Pero
Parang
tuloy pa rin yung
ganon.
laro. Andun yung assistant coach, andun yung star players. Parang kahit pa paano may consuelo sila. At least pinalis ko yung coach.
Oo.
Nakakainis siya. Di ba? Parang ganun nangyari.
Eh, ang problema lang, May pa lang, wala na sa eksena si Khan. Kaya parang nagpatalsik ka ng coach na naka-on leave. Kaya
Kasi he's under
parang,
investigation for other matters. So, pagka
yes,
naging
yun
ito, medyo
pa.
naging mainit masyado. Yeah.
So absentee na siya. Kaya, kumbaga nung una, alam mo na may issue. Parang nung una, parang, wala naman yan. Tapos na suspend of another issue. Later on, kasi super late. 'Di ba? Kung ako yun, and if it was in, kumbaga, with the best of intentions, I would have raised that at the first instance na ka-questionable kung I want to keep the proceedings pure. Pero it might have been something in the defense strategy to hold off until the very end. May ano sila parang malapit na ako maniwala dun sa nagsasabing every month dapat may i-file. Kasi
Kasi
meron
kailangan
talaga
talaga for the gram. Meron
Oh,
performance-based kasi ito for the gram.
kasi na-note yan dun sa interim release. Kasi so may yung ano to? April pumasok, May jurisdiction, June interim release, July disqualification of CAN, yung ganon. Tapos August final yung interim release. Sabi ng court, ilang buwan na. Dapat ito yung una mong final because this was the first thing you would have noticed. 'Di ba, of the person. Kung tingin mo, parang wala na sa hulog to, una mong ifa-file yan more than all the others. So, tignan
Pagka,
natin
alam mo, pwede mo
September,
Netflix,
October.
director to. Kasi may alam mo yung parang walang kwentang episode, pero biglang may plot twist sa dulo para lang manood ka ng next episode. Parang siyang ganun, yung parang, wait, what? Alam mo yung mga sobrang slow yung simula, alam mo walang kwenta tong pinapanood mo, biglang may plot twist, akala mo ang ganda, tapos yung pala wala pa rin kwenta sa next episode. Next thing you know, you finish the whole season.
O, pwede, oo. Yun lang yung importante. Kumbaga, kahit anong gawin mo, may manunood sa'yo.
Yeah, I mean, if you were dealt weak hand, 'di ba? In this case, mga hopeless case naman daw. It's like, ang pangit ng script pero kailangan mo kumita. Ang gagawin mo lang, lalagay ka lang ng plot twist para lang you just keep people watching even though alam mo walang kwenta yung movie mo. So I'm impressed by
Well, I
Kaufman.
hope not. Well, for Karim Khan, it appears he's kind of competent naman. Marami na siyang clients and all. So, I hope not na hindi ganun yung ano niya. Kasi otherwise, kung ganun, there is basis to siya naman ang ma-recuse. Alam mo, lahat pala halos papatanggal niya. Maski ako tinira niya. So, there has
What's
been a
imagine?
Oo, kasi sabi namin, sino pa bang di tinitira nito? So, there was a report on the common legal representatives. And then he said, I have an objection. Uunahin ko na. If ever, and he was referring to me and attorney Joel Butuyan. Kasi mga activist lawyers daw kasi. Sabi ko, and is there anything wrong with that? As long as we're lawyers, we can appear before the court and we can represent our clients well.
Hindi naman kayo
Huwag yun
judge.
yung tirahin
Exactly,
mo.
you're not like a judge or hindi naman kayo
Yeah,
district or
yeah.
judge, right? So, pagalingan na lang ito ng argumento, 'di ba? But he's good. Like para siyang nagsa-slice na pahabayin natin tong kwento na magaling, magaling. I'm very impressed. I mean, pinahaba niya until this point. Mukha naman limitless yung fund ng kabila. Now, if you're Bato and you're watching this, are you gonna hire Kaufman? Would you advise him to, assuming he can afford?
Oh, apparently the kind of rule is don't get a lawyer cannot represent two
Ay, hindi
clients
pwede
as much as
package deal.
possible. Oo, akala ko noon pwedeng maka-package deal pero they are not part of the same case. If a case, kasi nga yun actually yun yung advice ko kay Bato noon. Pumasok ka na, sumabay ka na kay Duterte, sumabay ka na sa kaso niya kasi wala pang charges din noon eh. Kumbaga, bubuin pa lang yung
Yung
charges, yung
voluntary
draft charges.
cooperation, gano'n.
Oo, parang a voluntary appearance kung sa Pilipinas nga or voluntary surrender kung magpapakulong siya. Kasi doon, pwede kang saluhin ni Kaufman because it will be the same case. So, two accused in the same, kumbaga, quote-unquote charges. Moving forward, if the charges against Duterte are either confirmed or not or kung ano man, wala na, solo na yan. One case na yan. But To's case will be separate. Hindi, mahirapan na siyang kunin si Kaufman kasi even the court will say, bakit naman dalawa ng kliyente mo, dami-daming abogado? Well, pag nahuli ka pala, nabanggit na natin yun, no? Kapag nahuli ka, you will be given all the list of names of persons who are qualified before the court and then you can choose one. I think the list is about 900, 1,000 thereabouts na lawyers
Is
across the
Harry on
world.
that list? Is Harry on that?
Yes.
Andun ba yung rate
Uh,
nila? Ano to, parang
Sorry.
may
A
rate
rate?
ba sila sa baba?
Ito
Parang
lang,
Tinder,
sabi niya,
parang Tinder. Pag ito,
wala.
Tinder.
Nationality. So, last name, first name, nationality. Tapos ito lang, apparently, and I think contact details. So, apparently, ito pala yung issue dyan. Hindi mo, kasi walang laman eh. Walang CV, pangalan lang talaga. Ang sabi nga nung ibang lawyers, we trained, di ba? Tapos na-meet namin sila. Ang ano nila, parang, paano nga makakakuha ng kliyente?
Yun, exactly.
Kasi, paano mo ibebenta yung sarili mo sa isang tao na
Yeah,
nakakulong?
parang Tinder, di ba?
Ngayon, ganito pala yung siste. Kaya may advantage yung mga dati nang nagre-represent dahil may referral nung kaano niya kakosa.
So Kaufman can refer to a friend. Ito, kunin
Could
mo
have
ito,
been referred by
international.
someone inside. Kasi Kaufman was the lawyer of, I forgot, pero several others detained in the court. So, siguro nung chinichika niya, uy, is there someone that you know? O ito dati, ganyan. O ito naman, ganito. So, sort of my referral system. And probably dun niya nakuha to. So, it's either Duterte or Sara would have brought over. Pero the way I saw it, Sara brought over Harry Roque.
Yun nga
Kaya
eh.
akala ko nga siya yung mag-a-appear eh.
Eh,
Pero well,
Ano yung nationality ni Haruka ngayon? Kasi na-cancel na yung passport niya. Ano siya? Global citizen? Bermuda? Saan ba
um,
nila? I'm curious.
well, as of now,
Can you
it's still
check?
Philippines pa rin ang nakalagay eh. Pero actually, this has to be clarified
Supranational. May
because
flag bang supranational?
wala. Pero this has to be clarified kasi can he practice if he's an asylum
Fugitive.
seeker? Yes, a fugitive and an asylum seeker. So, sa Dutch law, parang malabo eh na you can practice. And even yung ano eh, yung rules ng pag seeking asylum, you cannot work. Or you can only do these kinds of work. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nakalagay ba
So,
dun kay Harry na fugitive siya na yan? Or like I mean, ayaw mo ng abogado na may problema din sa buhay, di ba? Kasi baka mamaya biglang wala na, dinampot na yung abogado.
I guess that kind of information he can get from his friend, si Duterte. He can call his daughter. Ano ba? Kamusta na ba to si Harry? And even yung intranet niya. Kasi may news reports available on the intranet.
Oh, wala, attorney. So how do you end up on that list, yung Tinder list? Ay, nung list ng mga... Are you guys, can you guys also be on that list? Or you're just purely from, like you can choose to be a defense or not? Kasi ICC accredited kayo, but what's
Mhm.
the next step to be there?
Essentially, what he has now is the list of councils, parang about
So
1,000.
you can be there.
There's, I am in the assistant to
Yeah,
councils.
kaya nga, so you can still be
But
part of
he
the
will
assistant.
probably see my name. Oo, pag tiningnan
Interesting.
niya yun, nandun
Oh, wow.
kami. Ang nandun sa list of councils would be Attorney Joel, Gilbert Andres, and then two other lawyers na I think hindi sila nagpa-public or hindi sila masyadong vocal, but at least five lawyers are accredited before the court as counsels, and then me as assistant to counsel. There is no updated list. Nagulat nga ako kasi the list is up as of
Yun nga.
2023.
A
So
lot
sabi
has
ko ba,
happened.
hindi pa ba ito nadagdagan? So I've heard that there are some Filipino lawyers who have also expressed an interest. In the application form, actually, you could click or may checkan ka doon na, would you like to appear for the defense or for victims? Syempre ako, victims. In any case,
Yun
apparently,
nga eh, like,
pwede
can you
kang,
choose also? Like, I want to be a crip.
yeah,
I don't want to represent alleged criminals.
yeah. Pero, hindi yun mag-appear dun sa records nung akusado. It's just a list of names. These are the
Flexible lang siya.
accredited persons. The judges will probably see that kasi yung appointment of lawyer of the victims, titingnan nila yung mga applications, yung parang yung records. So doon, they will not appoint someone who clearly said, I don't want to be in any defense team. And curiously, I remember Harry Roque even saying, because you can be involved in so many ways, not just representation. Naalala niyo yung si Harry Roque was said that he was being approached to assist in the Ukraine case.
Di ba, dyan niya kasama si Supra, di ba? Dinala niya si Supra, yung kanyang
Yeah,
assistant.
yun,
Yep, sila
yun.
together. Oo.
So, may gano'n na parang he was being asked to assist, pero this was the Ukrainian government naman at that time.
Well, I'm
So,
glad they didn't choose him, but baka pwede siya mag-apply for Ukrainian citizenship. Uy, maraming ano dyan sa Ukraine, ha?
pwede.
Maraming, I mean, there's a lot of culture, I would say. A lot of culture and history.
Kaya lang, di ba mandatory yung conscription? May age ba? Paano ba?
Hindi,
Kasi
walang age eh.
at
Until
war.
50 nga, meron nga mga sundalo na 50 eh.
Okay, so
Would
they're at
Harry want
war.
to serve on the
So,
front with very young men? Tapos siya yung hindi... Kasi maraming ganun eh. May mga platoons na may 50, tapos maraming mga 20, 18 years old. Would Harry be okay with that? I can ask. Meron akong Ukrainian defense minister friend.
oh,
I can recommend Hiro. I recommend to be deployed on the very front with the very young cohort to take care of him. Kasi syempre mahirap kalaban mo, Russian, eh,
mm,
nakakatakot, diba? Anyway, before we say something and we regret this, attorney, going back to this. So what you're saying is that if ever I don't know, the timeline that people like Trillianus Sentry is giving is that within a quarter, I think Bato's situation should be clear, maybe even before the end of the year. It's hard to say anymore, right? I mean, this is a very flexible moving target situation. But so Bato's case will be different. Should he be arrested?
yes.
It will be a total. So hindi na sila magsama sa isang ano, yung sa wala
Mm,
na yung group Hague.
wala na, pero they could have kumbaga, some overlap over the evidence. Pero here's the thing. So, in a sense, hindi na siya makakaabot or wala na, malabo na in the same charges as proposed, 3 counts of murder, attempted murder. But sabi yung looking at the records but apparently if there are additional at an average of about 6, kalimutan ko if it's average or at most pero in every situation, so for example, the Philippine situation, Ukrainian situation, up to 6 persons could be ordered arrested.
Aba, cap na
So,
yan. Medyo cap yan. I
ha,
don't think average and that's a lot.
well, hindi naman kasi depende din sa situation. And in our situation, the records say that the ICC has determined there's about 8 persons, more or less, at least 8 persons na co-perpetrators ni Duterte. Ito nga si number 1, somebody close enough, redacted eh. Si number 2, appointed. Si number 3, police. Si number 4, basta ganun. So you can only see parang indicators. Yung number 7, I'm very curious dun ako. Kasi is a friend blah, blah, blah. Tapos redacted na. Sabi ko, uy, sino to? Kaya sabi ko,
Namin marites pwede mangyari pala.
pwedeng, pwedeng yung as long as these persons are considered to be most responsible. Yung parang board team, parang board of trustees, lahat. Ano,
One second,
but,
attorney. I think your voice is cutting off. Let me double check. Yeah, sorry.
okay.
There was could you just go back again the point you were saying a few minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, attorney? Yeah.
So it's a list of 8 persons probably involved. Batos' name is probably on it. The case against him will, as I would agree with Senator Trillanes, soon. Parang ano nga, dapat yesterday pa yan. Out na. Kasi the charges of imprisonment, eto ka na. Dahil nagkaroon na ng panahon para mag-isip pa or makakahanap ng dagdag ebidensya, the charges against him could be larger. So, hindi lang count 1 to 3 counts of crimes against humanity and murder. Pwedeng sa kanya idikit yung imprisonment. Kasi PNP yung nagkulong eh. Kaya pinupush namin dapat si Duterte, dapat lahat ng pagkakamali during the war on drugs. But studying things, may chance pa na sa ibang kaso doon litisin.
So different cases sila, each of them. Is that also possible? Let's say Bongo is next or Aguirre is next. That each of them will be a separate case. Parang
Yes. So the one indicator is how the warrant of arrest will be issued in a sense. Kasi, for example, in the Ukraine case, the first warrant was issued against 2 persons. So si Putin tsaka si Maria Belova. So yung case nila is the same. So dalawa sila. Later on, they issued warrants against Russian generals separate. In the Palestinian case, they issued warrants against 5 people. In the same document, parang fair ang ginawa nila. Nandun yung Hamas, nandun din yung Israel. Ang pangit lang ng kinalabasan or eventually, patay na pala yung tatlong Hamas na pinangalanan nila. So as the warrant stands now, it's a warrant against two Israeli leaders, si Netanyahu at si Gallant. Kaya then therefore, yung charges against them could be similar or could move forward. Pero pwede pa ding mag-split. But in any case,
Yun nga, like I'm
yung,
thinking logistically. So in that sense, you can isolate the
yes,
Duterte situation because the Duterte situation, let's be honest, it's a bit fragile, right? It looks, I mean,
yeah,
he's already advanced in age, but you can think Bato or other people, this could go on for decades for them and they'll still be healthy and strong and everything. Wala silang excuse.
correct. So may politics din which is why I mentioned yung sa Palestinian situation, pinagsama nila sa isang warrant of arrest para, kumbaga, fair. We're not playing, kumbaga, politics na it's only against Israel, it's only against Hamas. So, na-avoid nila yung, well, more intense na pressure. Well, the pressure was intense upon them. Kaya nga sabi nila, ang daming atake sa korte. In the Ukrainian situation, wala eh. Actually, yung Ukrainian situation, it was very peculiar in a sense kasi yung mga tao, sabi nila, anong kinaso kay Putin? Movement or relocation of children as a war crime? Hindi ba pinakaso pa yung bombahan na nun eh? Tsaka,
Yung Boca yung
dami.
massacre. Yeah, yeah. Yung
Oo, ang
massacre.
dami mong pwedeng i-charge. But no, his warrant, because it was, kumbaga, this is a matter of prosecutorial discretion din. The warrant was for the movement or the relocation of Ukrainian children. Ito yung mga nasa orphanages daw, to Russia. What? Pero, napaisip na din na, oo nga no, posibleng yun kasi yung pinakamalakas. It's impossible to, kumbaga, contradict the I would say that they had the evidence at that point. And ay, sabi ko nga, hindi pa ba enough yung mga picture ng bombahan? Ang thing is, kailangan din kasing i-determine saan galing yung bomba, inamin ba na galing sa kanila yung bomba, etc. etc. Sinong
Saka
namatay.
mabilis. Ang bilis lumabas kasi yung kay Putin eh. Parang
Oo.
months lang
Kaya
nandiyan na kaagad.
ibig sabihin, talagang solid yung ebidensya tungkol dun sa mga bata na nilipat sa orphanage, na galing sa Ukrainian orphanage to Russia. Kaya it's a mix of what evidence you have already, of politics, and of state participation or state cooperation.
Yun nga eh, nagiging medyo sui generis na rin yung Duterte case, no? Kasi you have an interplay of so many factors. Eh. Kaya nga, I think if everyone is going to be humble about it, if I'm carefully analyzing all of the interviews, discussions, not only with you, with everyone having, it's parang ano eh, moving target pa siya eh. Although there's still general rules, di ba? In terms of impartiality, yung quantum of evidence, etc. But it looks like there's still as kind of a sui generis element. So maybe in a way, better na nga naman separate rin yung Duterte case eh. Kasi there's so much going on, including his physical fragility, at least it look on the surface, no? So attorney, before I transition to the last part of our discussion, which is more on the domestic politics and all of that. So overall, how are you feeling right now about the prospects of accountability? Do you feel more confident? Do you feel better? Do you think the delay was worth it? Or meron ka pa rin mga concerns and what can the Philippine government do? I mean, does it even matter? Philippine joins the ICC again, rejoins the ICC? Can it help at all? Oops. Attorney, parang nawala ulit yung voice mo. 1 second. What's going on? Yeah. So, yun nga, attorney, what should happen? Should we rejoin the ICC? I mean, what do you see way moving forward?
Okay. Sige. So it's for, kumbaga, peace of mind na rin. At totoo, may pa-ICI tayo. Di ba? Gastusan natin yun ngayon so that we can investigate. Do the same for this war on drugs. Iba to sa ICC yung patungkol doon sa topmost officials. And then, therefore, yung maiiwan sa Pilipinas would be other cases against the police. Hindi pa na namin pinapakawalan yon. So, that's one. Makakatipid tayong resources dyan. Two, yung ebidensya could be vetted inside the Philippines and outside of the Philippines. These are government records that maybe some of our politicians, some of those government officials aren't quite sure of how to understand. Kunyari, numbers of those deceased, ganyan. Parang ano to? But for the ICC, that would be crucial. So, para ma-turn over natin lahat, this is cooperation with the investigation. Interviews with police who might know what really happened. And sabi nga namin, the ICC is very, ano, di ba, very particular about the rights of the accused. If they get exculpatory evidence, sabi ng police, di naman si Duterte may kasalanan eh, they will put that into record. Kaya makakatulong kung sakaling may ganong sasabihin. And then lastly, of course, it would show to the international public that we're really committed to this. When we left, ang laki nung, in some way, backlash eh. At naalala ko nga merong mga gumagawa ng mga cartoons. So Duterte was talking to ito parang editorial cartoon, was talking to the ICC. Tapos nandun sa window, yung other state heads of government ng mga kapitbahay natin na parang, oh, ano nangyari sa'yo? Nakikichismis. So, naging ano siya na, paano mo magdi-deal yung isang bansa ng ganitong klase? We left already, pero kaya pa palang mahabol. Yung withdrawal ng West African states, threatened withdrawal, and Hungary are on the table now. Hopefully, hindi matuloy. Lagi namang may ganun eh, para mas malaki yung community of or yung that's what we need now eh, a larger community of countries na united at least on one issue or at least dito sa Committee sa International Criminal. Pero we're concerned with the case. Dapat natuloy yung confirmation of charges hearing kahit nga absent siya eh. September 9, a few weeks before the hearing ni Duterte, nagkaroon ng confirmation charges kay Joseph Kony, who was not under arrest. Kaya sabi namin, pwede, kahit absent siya. Abogado na lang niya papuntahin kasi it's not yet trial. Kaya nga, fitness to stand trial, pang trial yan. So, we should have proceeded with the confirmation first. Saka na lang natin pinoblema yung fitness to stand trial niya. Tuloy ngayon, lahat ng tao parang tatanong, okay pa ba siya?
Yun nga, it
That's
creates
not
that
the
incentive
issue.
to, yeah, exactly nga. Yung sequencing matters. Very good.
Yeah, so that's not the issue supposedly at the confirmation charges. And then in a way, internally slash bilaterally with the Office of the Prosecutor, we would have wanted additional charges in the DCC, yung parang information or document containing the charges. Torture, rape were alleged or were charged kay Duterte dun sa warrant, pero hindi tinanggap kasi ng court. So, sabi namin, kulang ba ng ebidensya o ano? So, kung kami, tulak lang ng tulak because of the many victims who suffered under the war on drugs, only a few will be able to participate in the court. And that, for us, is also a grave disservice.
Thank you for that, attorney. Last part of our discussion, I want to talk about the domestic aspect. So where are you seeing itong ICI and ombudsman developments leading? Are you encouraged or discouraged? Are you still hedging your bets? Where do you see this coming with the new ombudsman, also with the direction of the ICI?
We had the same feeling in 2018, 2019. Submit ka ng submit ng ebidensya kay Duterte. Please, please, please silipin yung ICC. Halos walang nangyayari. I'm looking for the moment ng 2020, ito, or 2021, June 2021, bababa si Fatou Bensouda, may pasabog siya. I've finished the investigation. Yes, Duterte is, I'm seeking seeking authority to investigate. So until we see that, parang yung moment na ano ba, help. At sabi nga ng mga netizens, mostly sa mga netizens ko nakikita to eh.
Attorney, now, yeah,
Test my test.
yeah, you were saying about the activism and all, yeah.
So what we need to see is someone in jail. Yun lang laging hinahanap ng tao. Anong petsa na? Sa October na, wala pa rin nakukulong. So, as with many other things in the Philippines, laging sasabihin, ito, dapat managot. Ito, meron na kayong investigasyon. Pero hanggang wala talagang na-convict. Sana makita din ng mga taong bayan na hindi lang yun simpleng nakasuhan. Dapat na-convict. At kumbaga, may maayos yung decision. Kasi and now even I recall the Ramon Revilla case, yung sa scam nila, PDAF scam. He was not even found guilty, di ba, of taking the money. He was just ordered to, he was kind of civilly liable, pero he was ordered to return parang 125 million ba? Parang ang daming pwedeng mangyari sa different stages. Kaya yung pagbabantay ng taong bayan, hindi lang hanggang may mahuli, dapat hanggang may makonvict at hanggang ma-serve or maibalik yung pera.
So realistically, what are we looking at? Like, because Ombudsman Remulla said baka 1 year kailangan to consolidate the cases. Of course, you want to do it properly. You think that's too long? You think that's an excuse to just wait this out?
I think it's too long. Some of the cases that we've done took maybe 6 months. Pero kailangan nakafocus ka kasi. So I don't know with the caseload of, actually meron nga ibang cases, kaya mo ng 1 week eh. Basta kumpleto yung dokumento, yun yung susi, palagay ko. Basta kumpleto yung dokumento, pag-uusapan nyo lang yan, o overnightan nyo yan ng maraming araw, makakabuo ka ng good enough case. Ang tanong lang naman, is there reasonable certainty that you will get a conviction? Di ba? Yan na yung bagong standard. Si ano yan, Remulla yan eh. So sana magamit niya yun. Ang ano lang talaga, yung kay Ascuna, yun yung pinag-isipan ko ngayon. I heard that he has a proposal to have a special action where if you think unexplained wealth or ill-gotten wealth, yung pera.
Oh yeah, yung British system, yeah, na automatically
Yeah.
basta may discrepancy, you can come in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, and also the reporter, yung ano to, yung chuchu or yung taong bayan
Oh
actually,
yeah,
pwede kumahagi, may percentage.
right.
Kaya may incentive, di ba, na
Citizen arrest.
do this right now, right here. So, ewan ko lang, kaya lang baka maging kagulo na tayo, no? Pero yun ang kailangan. Right now, sa totoo lang, yung ICI and even yung actually more of the people in government, kumbaga, their interests are in the status quo. Kasi they haven't been hurt by the situation or they benefit from the situation even before and after the discoveries. At dyan pa rin sila eh. Maybe there's a few na parang talagang disgraceful, fall from grace. Pero that's just a few. In general, their interests are intact. If we tend to think of them as a sector or a group. Yung taong bayan naghahanap ngayon ng ano ba? Ibaba ang presyo ng kikiam at mga street food, di ba? Ganun level ang pangangailangan. Samantalang yung nandoon sa ICI and everything, hindi nila kailangan problemahin yon. So, kailangan talagang i-balance yung immediacy of solutions doon sa certainty of results. So, sana mabalance nila ng maayos.
Talagang kailangan i-prioritize yan. Kasi dapat solid yung case. Otherwise, what goes to Sandigan Bayan, baka maraming butas na naman kung saan mapunta. So you think, people are fair to ask, 2 months into the crisis, bakit wala pang nakulong? I mean, from a rule of law, procedural point of view, what would an optimal situation be? Na 2 months into this crisis, I mean, kamusta mga Diskaya? Parang they're still floating around as if, they're not even cooperating with ICA. They don't even bother.
So, actually, I think it's fair for people to ask. Kasi kung may nakawan nga, di ba? Sisigaw ko lang, may magnanakaw, magnanakaw. Instant, may pwede mong mahuli yung magnanakaw na kanina lang, sorry, sa TV Patrol. Nakuha sa CCTV yung magnanakaw na nanloob. Nung kinuha yung, basta parang bumalik ulit dun sa lugar, natambangan. So, instant, may nakulong, may nabawi yung gamit. Dapat ganun. I think if not the top honchos, yung maliliit. Kaya makakatulong yung parang paghuli going after the small fish or small fry. Kasi pwedeng, ano mo yun di ba? Parang hulihin mo muna yung mga nasa baba para maubos yung umu-operate. Tapos, pwede mong, yun yung
Mm.
forcible enforcement.
Pero hindi
Yung
kaya
mga
that
nasa,
that 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 works in a sense that doesn't work in a sense baka people are worried naghahanap lang sila ng mga scapegoat at
that's what, well,
yun nga
yes,
di
dapat
ba kasi naghahanap ng big fish ang tao ngayon eh given the scale.
well, for the 2 months, I don't think the big fish will be able to be. Pero
Yeah, that was my
yung
question. Like, with the big fish, can you expect at this point? And I
six
think
months,
realistically, hindi. Exactly. So we're
yes,
looking at 6 months. So
months
by January, February, there should be something big. That's the
yes,
idea. Yeah.
in my experience, kumbaga, yung medyo pulido, medyo maayos. Of course, years yung iba. Pero 6 months kapag tinutukan talaga. I remember we made one pleading. This was against the MRT, LRT fare hike. Halos 2 months nga yun eh. Hindi kami nagpasko pagdating ng January 4, 2014 or 2015, may kailangan ka nang i-file. So, tututukan mo talaga. As in, you have to give up everything, your weekends, family time, to do this. And kahit paano, I would say, that's a tall order. Pero kung na-assign kang gawin yan, sana paglaanan nyo ng panahon. Yung ICI, mataas ang expectations ng tao. Pero at this point, parang nasistress na rin ako sa kanila kasi yung one hallmark would be publication of the materials. Wala. And then, ako, sorry, pero the age or the generation, it would have been good if there was someone younger. Kasi, so that they will think out of the box.
Medyo, hmm. Tsaka energy.
Oh, yun.
Medyo kailangan ADHD level ka kasi ang mga young na sumisikat ngayon, mga Kiko Barzaga,
Oh,
Levi.
not that one. Yung, basta, hindi ko alam, I mean, who else in government to recommend. Pero, I'm sure, di ba, remember, Heidi Mendoza was at one point inside government. She was younger when she exposed so many things. People of that caliber, yung have nothing to lose, have nothing to hide, ganyan. Uh, Maybe they should have gotten somebody
Medyo
from
fresh
that
pa. Baka
generation.
pwede gawin ng ICI youth. Like, parang Duterte, may ICI youth, may
Wag,
youth.
hindi naman ganun kabata Wag naman Gen Z. Yung Gen Z baka
Bakit
nasa
si ano ba,
Facebook na
bata
kayo
pa si
lagi.
ano, si ano pa yung pangalan niya, yung gusto maging Duterte youth, yung mga ganyan age, yung hindi youth talaga, pero youth ang dating.
Oo, Tardema.
Kasi mga age, mga 40, mga gano'n.
Mga millennials, sellennial, I think.
Medyo, ano, Titos of Manila, pero bata pa rin, no?
Oo, ganon. Kasi yun talaga yung sa akin. Important to think out of the box. Kasi ang naririnig ko na sa ICI, file this, file that, yun yan. Pero parang wala bang kumbaga, innovative investigation mechanisms?
Tsaka yung pulso ng tao, mas ramdam mo kung mas bata ka eh. Kasi nakikita mo yung galit ng Gen Zs. Wala ka ng Kasi yung Gen Zs, open sila sa millennials and Gen X eh, di ba? In the way na probably they're not as open to seniors or ganun na, or hindi nakaka-relate at all, or hindi ganun ka sa social media. So, last point on this, attorney, I mean, pinapauwi na ako ng ibang tao kasi they're thinking magkakagulo na next month. And they're saying, Richard, you want to be around here when things go down. I mean, um, there are people calling for secession in Mindanao. There are people calling for sedition next month. There are concerns at least expressed by people in the inner sanctum of the government right now na baka yung isang religious group na mag-mobilize big time next month. You already saw Joel and some of these other people also showing force. So kumbaga nagkakaroon ng counter mobilization by those who are under pressure, under scrutiny, or those who want to take advantage of the situation even, right? And then ang hindi lang siguro scary si Jesus Cadero eh kasi naglilinis-linis lang siya ng ano like I
Yung
don't know what is he trying to
papa,
do. But having said that, like are you worried about kasi we had this discussion on Menjola, 'di ba? Na I think hindi naman disagreement. I had a very hindi kasi monolithic yung nangyari sa Menjola eh. A lot of progressives, akbayan, makabayan were involved. I have no issues with that. Um and I think when you have
yung mga youngsta na.
yun nga eh. But
Yung mga nahuli,
may mga gangsta eh. May mga,
walang group. I mean, not really gangs. Baka natatakot yung mga tao. Ano lang sila, simpleng mamamayan.
yeah.
May group, parang Tondo Bad Boys,
Oh,
gano'n.
Jejemons, mga gang gang gang. But okay,
Yeah.
but aren't you worried that something more organized and nefarious might happen next month? Katulad ng some of my colleagues in Oxford from Nepal were telling me na talagang binayaran daw ng mga congressman contractors nila, parang ganun, para magkakagulo. Kasi takot sila, mapupunta rin sa kanila yung investigation eventually. Kung they had an interest in burning down the house unless their footprints get, like yun yung scary eh. So, shouldn't we be worried about that? And at the same time, we also have to pressure, diba? Like, how do you get yung balance ng put pressure and at the same time not get used by nefarious anti-constitutional elements
Well, ang hirap kasi
or
without proper
anti-democratic? I
pressure,
mean, if we don't agree with the current constitution or anti-democratic for that matter, yeah.
wala tayong control dun sa kabila, but we have control over our groups. So right now, I would say some groups are organized. Ang habol at ang laban dun sa mga unorganized, and that's precisely the Mendiola crowd. Organized, and then may mga, ang tawag nila ngayon, young stana. Kaya, ano ba ito? They're not part of any political group, but they're politicized. Yun ang kailangang, kumbaga, kuhanin ng either group. Kasi they have the capacity and they have the fervor to do things. At kung at usapin yan, sinong makakauna dyan? Either bayaran o ipoliticize. Kaya I think some of the groups now are working in the communities where these people have come from. Shout out sa mga taga-Karapatan, mga taga-NUPL na nag-assist sa kanila. Sabi nila, naku, parang okay itong kumbaga i-organize, kausapin, and kumbaga put them on the right direction or steer them towards the right direction. Hindi yung may nakawan, may kumbaga kaguluhan, konting paliwanag lang. So, back to basics to.
Get your point.
Offline organizing.
So, okay, I'll spell this out now. I mean, we're about to close this. So, I think the semi-pejorative term used in the literature is lumpen proletariat, right? Ito yung working class na hindi ganun ka-organized, pero basically may konting idea ng class consciousness. But you need to mobilize that, crystallize that more. So, are we saying here, and I think you didn't say it, but I would say it, which is, ang napansin ko dun sa peaceful protest, the massive peaceful. It was very middle class, no? It was very petty bourgeois, right? And yun nga eh, hindi ko na I mean, di ba? Everyone was so parang feeling ko hindi pa siya ganun ka cross-class solidarity. So what you're saying is that we have to build that intra-class, interclass solidarity. Yun yung kulang.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even with the middle class, there's groups that are not yet organized. Rapidly being organized or being politicized. And I'm happy to, shout out naman sa K-pop stands for good governance. So, organized groups na whom we thought walang kinalaman, pero wow, for good governance. So I'm speaking also of those stan groups, mga, ano ba tawag, sa Blooms. Sa Bloom, sa mga fan ng mga artista, sa mga fan ng mga love team, ganon. And to some extent, nangyari yan nung panahon. Sorry, but the Lenny Robredo campaign. Cross-cutting, mga pogi for Lenny, mga ganito for Lenny, mga titas for Lenny. Parang ganon. And you have to cut across all classes and politicize yung mga hindi pa, kumbaga, committed or as educated para pareho tayo ng objectives. I know for many people, hindi, ano lang yan, spontaneous dapat. Naku, hindi po ganyan. Even the EDSA revolution, even if it looked like thousands of people just, thinking, maybe we could get there. One, there was the assistance of the church. So in a sense, it was organized. Ang lakas ng hatak ng church. And then two, afterwards, anong nangyari? If it's just individuals going to the streets, balik yan sa sariling mga buhay. Kaya ang importante sa atin, bumalik man sa sariling buhay, maaalala, makakapag-contact ulit how to move things forward.
Oh, shucks. Last point lang. I just saw pala yung ex-student ko, si Paolo Martinez is now the spokes of DOJ. So we have good people going in. Yung mga bata, ginagawang spokesman. Sana may ICA version. But ito kay Trillanes, what do you think about his case? He has nag-all in na si Sentre ngayon. I think he's smelling blood, right? I think ICC is going his way. Where do you see this going?
Well, I think may basis. Well, I haven't seen the document, pero ang kapal hindi naman laging indicator yung kapal, pero mukhang galing yung Go contracts ito, no, yung sa family ni Go. Yung isang indicator niyan is that the reports were sourced from, I think, PCIJ ba or something. So, ako, to some extent, may tiwala ako sa PCIJ eh. Talagang wala akong masasabi sa investigative record niyan. Kaya kung based sa ganung reports, meaning they were vetted, they were checked, I would say there would be basis. Hindi ito, hopefully alam ko may na-dismiss na yata ng ibang complaints. Alam ko may ganung parang tira-pasok naman yan eh. Pero dito parang ang daming papel.
Yeah, this
Sana
one
lang
looks more
hindi.
solid, no? Mukhang, oo.
Mas solid. So ito mas may ano
Sakto.
ko, mas may kumbaga, nararamdaman ko na mas okay ito. But of course, we have to wait and see. And hopefully, ito din yung jurisprudence, yung ombudsman, actually maraming factors na nag-contribute sa mga decisions ng ombudsman. And it's sometimes also, it's the political situation. We felt that during the war on drugs, nung war on drugs, mali yung appreciation nila ng kumbaga, tokhang operation. Sasabihin nila, sorry, yung killer or yung nakapatay lang yung responsible. Parang kami, no, it has to be the whole team. And it's a policy at the same time jurisprudential issue. Kumbaga, we need more jurisprudence, we need more cases saying that a team that goes into a location and does this is responsible. Same as for corruption. Kasi dito, kung sino was left with a bag of money or with the dirty money, siya yung makakasuhan eh. Paano yung nag-utos? Kaya sana ma-improve natin yung concept and understanding of, kumbaga parang conspiracy.
Although
Sino
the
yung
Supreme Court had the
biglash?
recent ruling on like you can be in that meeting but you can, yung medyo dati,
Yeah.
ayun nga, ayoko na magsalita sa Supreme Court.
So sana madala, hindi naman sa madala ng politics, pero sana maging bold enough. There's also something called judicial activism. Kaya even if you are in the prosecutorial group or prosecutorial arm of government, you can do something about to push the boundaries of whatever you're looking at.
So, kung ikaw si Bongo, should you be worried on multiple fronts too, including both ICC and I don't know, ICI or Ombudsman? Parang ginagawa kong fast
Yes.
talk eh. So,
Oo
should
nga,
Bongo be worried?
yes. Yes, definitely. And wag siyang manisin ng ibang tao na, ay, ano naman to? This is the Dutertes. He said this. They're going after the Dutertes. No, it's because you did things. If you hadn't done these things, ikaw ang, kumbaga, parang rape victim. Sisisihin mo yung rape victim. Kaya mo ako binabalikan kasi ganito. No. Nangyari to dahil nang rape ka. Don't go victim blaming.
And gaslighting in this case, no?
And
So,
gaslighting.
hindi lang pala Bato. You think Bongo should also be worried on multiple fronts? Although, at least Bato walang contractor company so far, but nevertheless, di ba?
Yung Bongo lang yung for me, wala pa akong nakitang ebidensya or wala pa akong public statement na narinig that he was a thinking element of the cabal ng war on drugs. From what I see, he was someone
Then
who
the
was
Garma thing.
instructed.
What about the Garma witness, if
Well,
ever?
the Garma statement puts him at the scene of the crime, kumbaga. Pero dahil nautusan ba siya na magbigay ng pera o binigyan siya ng discretion? Kasi nahirapan din ako, siguro na-judge ko na siya. Because for me, Bongo is someone you cannot divorce or you cannot, kumbaga, separate from Duterte. Siya si Digong yung ulo, yung utak,
Siya yung
si Bongo
arms.
yung kamay.
Yun nga.
Oo. So, iniisip ko parang, how much discretion did he have during the war on drugs? If he had discretion, then definitely he has to be accountable. I've also been looking at statements. Tahimik siya. Talagang kamay siya. Tahimik siya
Kung
even
kamay
with
siya, ano
his
si Bato? Barel? I mean, like, yun nga, like, you're one, kaya nga, like,
siguro.
this metaphor, medyo nahirapan ako to see where this is going. Because Bato could also say, inutusan lang ako, wala namang akong choice, di ba?
Dalawa
Although,
naman yung kamay.
ayun lang, medyo photobomb.
Oh, but for Bato, yung isang kamay, malikot na malikot. Tapos ang daming sinabi din ni Bato. Part of why Duterte is being charged is because he aided and abetted the killings.
Right,
Kumbaga, pwedeng wala siyang instruction. Hindi siya yung nag-utos.
right.
Pero sa kada dadaan niya, patayin, patayin, patayin. Okay yan. 32 dead in one night. That was aiding and abetting the killings. So
Mm,
Bato cannot escape that. Siya yung collateral damage kay Micah Olpina.
right.
Kaya
So,
siya
mas
ngayong
thinking si
sana.
Bato. It's hard to imagine Bato as a more
Yeah.
thinking element than Bongo because I think the normal perception is mas matalino si Bongo to put it mildly, right? But this is an interesting situation.
Yung implementation kasi, so Bato was in charge of how to do it. Bongo was in charge of
Passing
paying.
down the message, parang gano'n. Ito yung utos ni boss or
Oo, eh. Si Bato talaga yung implementing the policy. Si Bongo was more on the money. And if he maybe had the discretion to pay out money, kung magkano, maybe mapapasok siya.
So you're
Also,
50-50 on the Garma one, on the Garma
uh,
testimony.
for me, definitely, Bongo is involved and responsible. Same as Sara Duterte.
But whether it
Involved
meets the
and
threshold of
responsible.
chief architect, yun,
Most
yung
responsible.
threshold. Yun na, maybe his photo
So,
bomber status could help him. Kasi unlike Bato, hindi siya pwede sabihin na epal lang siya kasi front and center si Bato eh. Parang siya yung tangke eh, di ba? Hindi lang thinking, talaga tangke siya.
correct.
He was
Oo,
the
tangki
machine.
siya.
He was the machine, right? He was the machine, hindi lang kamay, di ba? So, I'm just trying to play on the metaphor para maintindihan ng tao, hindi ito usapin ng kung sinong guilty or hindi. Ang usapin dito, sinong guilty at the level of a chief architect, right? Yun yung coverage ng ICC. Because I think people are still not appreciating. ICC is not there to go after every single person involved. In the same way, it's not going to cover every single witness or victim of the crime. We're just talking about
Mhm.
the highest level people, the chief architects on that. So in that sense, yung mga PNP chiefs, Albayalde siguro, no? Hindi lang si Bato could be involved kasi tuloy-tuloy siya even after Bato was out of office, no? On that
Yeah.
note, thank you so much, Attorney. I know we're more than an hour, but for some reason, grabe yung energy level mo. Parang hindi ko napansin na more than an hour tayo. Although we had some delay technical reasons. Masyadong vlogger kasing setup mo. Ako, I'm just keeping it simple para wala na mga delay. But your audio was fantastic, of course, even more. Thank you so much, Attorney Conti. Again, my sense is as an outsider who's still following this issue carefully is I think we're still feeling our way, crossing the river and feeling the stones tayo, no? There's so many elements which are moving and I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that unprecedented case in Digong eh, 'di ba? Probably things will be more predictable if it's Bato or Bongo or less head of state level people, no? I mean, in theory, no? In theory, the political considerations, the logistics, the age factor will not be there. Kasi Digong is
Mm.
complicating it on so many levels. Having said that, I think the direction of the wind is mukhang archive na, no? On that note, thank you very much, Attorney Conti. Balikan kita next time, hopefully on the more domestic politics. We didn't have enough time kasi ang daming level and sorry, I'm still distracted by the Harry Roque and the frontline issue. I mean, o nga, hindi ko naisip yung conscription part, no? But let me ask from my expert friends here if we can send him to the
Yes.
front line and under what conditions he will have the Ukrainian citizenship. So on that note, thank you very much. God bless and talk to you soon, attorney. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay ka.
Thank you, Ingat.